Hi Flosstube! My name is Christina, and this is my channel, Journals and Stitches. I'm based here in Sweden. Welcome back. This time, I'm back to what I used originally, using my iPad. I have tried so many different ways to get the sound better, and that has meant trying using my iPhone with and without the AirPods. I've tried getting a new cheap camera and using a extra microphone to use the sound, but apparently it didn't want to use my extra microphone. So I'm really sorry that the sound was awful on the last video and the camera was awful. So we're back to using my iPad. It worked great the first time. I had a big image of myself so I could clearly see what I was doing. The image was a great quality, so yeah, we're gonna just go back and use this and it works. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So yeah, if you like what you see, please don't judge me by my last video. Go to my other videos or this video. If you like what you see this time, please give me a like. Do comment down below if you find that this is good, if it's better than the last video, if you saw that. Or just leave any kind of comment. I do try and answer questions and comments. I always heart those that I've read. So, yep. No more experimentation. This works. We're going to keep to it. So if you want, please consider giving me a subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications when I next post. Right now, what's working is monthly, so I do try and get a video up every month, the first of the month. So next, I'm going to go through some of the stats for May so far. Today is the 26th of May. I'm recording currently in the evening while my husband and my son are out for a walk. So yeah. Okay, so projects worked on, including temperature stitching, which is 10 projects, is 16 projects worked on this month. So far, I have done 10,299 stitches for the month. And my whip go is a complete fail. I haven't touched Jelly World at all, so I'll carry that over and we'll see how I feel in June, if I want to work on it or if it'll continue to roll over. I have worked on all 10 of my temperature projects this month. I have one start and finish, so I have a SAF. And then besides that, I have 3 new starts and 2 previous whips that I have worked on this month. I will start with my one and only finish. It is a start and finish. This is also a gift. So it has been sent to its recipient. I hope it reaches its destination and is not lost in postage. So I will show it here, what it looked like before it got sent off. It is the pattern for the cotton plant is called Airy, and it is designed by Gulia Otorova. I found it on my bobbin, and since this is for a friend of mine, and his wife. They are having their 1 year anniversary this year. And for us here in Sweden, 1 year is called a cotton anniversary. So he wanted something to do with cotton, or if it was an image that was just made from cotton threads, he wasn't that picky. So I did the cotton, and then I did their names and the date they got married. And this was on a secondhand cross stitch project that he had found. And so all the frame and the flowers on the edges, those were already done. I haven't stitched those, just the cotton and the names. And I tried to sort of color match from the flowers and the frame to the different parts of the what I was stitched with, just background, their names and the date they were married. Since I didn't know exactly what it was, it's possible it wasn't even DMC, or it was older DMC. So it's not the best, but it's good enough. I think it's really pretty. He's really happy, so I hope his wife is also happy with it and that they can enjoy it. Hello, back again. So today is now Tuesday, the 27th of May. I am back in my stitching chair. So let's get back into it. So now we're going to move on, and we're going to go through my temperature stitching. So temperature stitching, I'll just explain that a little bit. For me, I do it, so Siska Stitches is the original creator, and I do it, so I have 10 projects for each number 0 through 9, and I do at least 100 stitches for that day, and if it's 2 digits in the temperature, I do the last digit. And I check the SMHOI app in the morning to see what project I'll stitch for that day. And the high that day is what I'll stitch. So I don't look in advance and see what I'll be stitching. It's the day of. So it's a bit more random and a bit more accurate, so to speak. So that's how I do my temperature stitching. It's a kind of mix of Darren the Dizzy Stitcher, who got his inspiration from Jen the Caffeinated Crafter, and Stuart at Stewart's and Stitches. So those are the inspiration behind that. So so far during the month of May, all 10 projects have been called at least once. 0 has only been called once, and so along with 2. So we're going to go through them one at a time, and I will show you. I don't have progress photos from last time, so I'll have to remember to do that for for July's update, so I can show you a before and after for each one. So let's do that. So first we have 0, and for 0 I have February. It is from the Cricut Collection, part of their month series, and this is what it'll look like when it is completed. Okay, and this has been called once, so it is a new start technically. And let's see if I can. So this is on a gorgeous 40 count even weave, hand dyed from Coffee Craft Fabrics in the UK. She is lovely. And let's see, which way is up? So I think it's, yeah, because that heart is upside down. And this is what I have so far. So this is the R of the the first R in February. So it's a center start. I started with the heart and then I counted over to the R. And I'm doing this 1/2 full cross, the same as I did with my January, which I've already finished, but I haven't fully finished. It is on a 40 count as well. So I'm keeping to the same type, or at least count of fabric. Put that down there. And that got a total of 118 stitches. Next, we have one, which is a Japanese fabric sampler number 1. It is charted by Annette Schwarzmiller, and this has been called 2 times. I have done 458 stitches on it this time around. I was focusing on getting, so this is what it'll look like when finished. And I was working on the medallion up here, and I was getting this golden center part finished. And then I started working on this square here. And so I wanted to get those done. So this is what it looks like so far. And this is done 2/1 tent stitch on a 25 count even weave. Yeah, it's coming along really nicely. The stitching is really, really easy. Nice to follow. Yeah, I think it'll be great when finished, and especially when I have all 3 of her fabric samplers side by side. I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna look so good on my wall. Very addictive stitching. Okay, so number 2 is from Tilton Crafts, and I'm doing Emerald Series Fay Cottage. The artwork is by the Wild Daisy 123. It has been called once, and I have only done 152 stitches. And so this is also a new start, technically, but this is what it'll look like when finished. I have removed the background on this, so I'm not stitching all the white. And it is a 25 count even weave, I believe, that I hand dyed myself. And this is a center start. And I do park, so there are some hanging threads here. This is what I have done so far, and I have realized I've made a huge mistake somewhere here. So I know there's a lot of stitches probably that need to come out and get redone, but I'm not in the mood to do that. So, but we'll see next time it gets called if I'm in the mood to figure out where I went wrong and restitch, or if I just continue on and maybe make it more and more obvious for myself what is wrong. We'll see next time. Next time it gets called, we'll see. Okay, so number 3 is Rebel from Karen Hallion, or the artist is Karen Hallion, and she is on Etsy among other places. This has been called 4 times, so I have done 523 stitches on it, and this is what it'll look like when finished. So this is Princess Leia from Star Wars, if you didn't know that. And this is what I have so far. So here is where her head comes up into the border. Yeah, so you can really tell what it is, right? This is done 2/1 tenth on a 25 or 28 count even weave. I have planned to do 5 by 6 of her She series from Pop Culture on the same fabric. I so far have 4, but I need to finish this first one, so it's okay. Okay, so next is for number 4. And this has been called 4 times, and it has received 469 stitches. And the project for this part is Fairy Collection Books, also from Tilton Crafts. And this is what it'll look like when finished. And the artist behind this is Cat Lady, and I have figured out that I am working here in this pink book part here, because there's lots of pinks where I am, so I think I'm in that book. And if that's the case, this might make me cry, because that means I will probably most definitely not have enough space, but it could also be I'm higher up in the book of, but I have no idea where I am. I have no idea where I am, but this is what it looks like so far. And as you can see, this is not a very wide piece of fabric. I thought I had counted and measured out, and it should be okay with not a lot of margin, but yeah, we'll see. I'm trying to move over to the side to see if it'll fit. I think it will, but I don't know. So this might get scrapped eventually when I come to realize it will not fit. And in which case, okay, we'll find a different fabric and go from there. Okay, next is number 5. It has been called for today. The high of today was 15, according to the Swedish Meteorological Society, whatever. I don't know what H and I stands for, but it's SMHI. I is for institution. I don't remember what H is for, so Swedish Meteorological something institution. But I haven't done that yet today. I instead focused on working on a whip. So for number 5, it has been called 4 times, excluding today, and it has, no, 3 times, excluding today, and it has gotten 340 stitches, and it is called Dragon and Roses, I think. The artist and designer is Ina Baidenko. You can find her on Instagram. However, if you wish to buy her patterns, you need to go either to My Bobbin, or you can contact her on Instagram, and she usually links you to her Boosty account where you can give her a tip of a certain sum, which she'll tell you in the message. And when she has received payment, she will then ask you for your email, and she will send you the pattern via email. And I know this because I bought a pattern from her that I want to start at the next retreat I go to. But anyway, Dragon and Roses by Ina Baidenko. Is this one? I saw it and I had to have it. It is beautiful. Oh, the backstitch. Backstitch is real, y'all. So I'm focusing kind of in the middle of his face right now. And I should be able to start backstitching a wee bit soon. This has some part thread, so let me get that out of the way here. Go. So this is what I have so far. I think it's up, or it's the right side. Yeah, because one of his eyes comes in right here. And this is on top of his nose. So here is where his nose is. Or muzzle or whatever. And this beautiful fabric is a 32 count opalescent even weave from Coffee Craft Fabrics. As well, gorgeous fabric. Very easy to work on. If I lived in the UK, I would probably get her monthly subscription, but I do not. So I'll have to stock up when I next see her, whenever that will be. So next we have number 6. This is, the pattern for this is called Moonlit Pond. It is from Stitching Itchings on Etsy, and this is what it will look like. I have asked the designer if she does have this as a saga file. Unfortunately, she does not, which is a shame because I have come to realize down in the lilies and the flowers, she has backstitch and quarter stitches, which is great for the detail, but when it's a PDF and you have backstitch and quarter stitches and the backstitch goes over the quarter stitches, you kind of gotta guess what the colors are depending on the full stitches around it, and that's kind of annoying. But if she did do saga, then you can remove the backstitch, so you only see like quarter stitches or full cross, half cross, and whatnot, depending on what the designer has decided. But the backstitch can be removed, so it's easier to see what color is used where. So that's a bit annoying, but oh well. It's a beautiful pattern. It's working out great. I thought I had messed up, but since then, I think I have not messed up. Or I was just one stitch that was off. Everything else was fine, it would seem, which is great. I fixed it and it's looking really great. So yeah, this has been called 4 times. I have done 578 stitches so far. And this is on a 28 count even weave hand dyed from Heart Stitch Designs called Absolute Nuit. Absolute Night, I guess you would say. But I've been working here. So here is where a lily pad is coming through. And here is where a lily flower, I think, is supposed to start coming in. That's where I thought I'd mess up, but I haven't. It was just one stitch here that was half a stitch off. That was easily fixed. So yeah, I'm starting to fill in up here, trying to come back up to this row that I did to make sure I had enough. Yeah, but it should be enough according to my math. But maybe I shouldn't trust my math considering the other project, but I think it's good. Yep. So next project is number 7, temperature number 7. And this has only been called once in May so far, unfortunately. I really like it. I did 162 stitches on this, and the pattern is called Beachcomber. It is from Carolyn Manning Designs, and it is part of her Shooting Star collection. So this is what it will look like when it's finished. And I am currently working on going down this side, the squares here. And so and this is what I have so far, not even halfway, but it is easy stitching, very nice, and easy to follow. This is done 2/1 full cross on 22 count, sandy beigey colored Hardinger fabric. It's a bit chunky, but it's really nice. I like it to stand out. It's like I made it on a separate piece of fabric and then put it on top of this fabric, which I like the effect. So I'm going to keep going with that. Next is temperature number 8. This has been called twice so far. I have done 447 stitches. And this is the pattern Professional Chaos Coordinator. I don't have the shop name on this. I'll link it down below. But this is what it'll look like when it's finished, sort of. I'm doing a conversion, so the colors aren't the same. And it is done 1/1 full cross on a piece of scrap fabric, 28 count opalescent even weave from Tom and Lily Creations. This is Glacier, I think. And I was aiming to get Chaos done. So yeah, Chaos? Done. So last for temperature stitching is number 9. This has been called 4 times. I have done 707 stitches so far, and it is the Words to Live By series from Tiny Modernist. And this is what it'll look like when finished. It is done 2/2 full cross, or as the backstitching asks for, which is 1 strand. It is done on 28 count black even weave, and I was focusing on getting, so this part of the village is done with backstitch, not that you can see the windows backstitched so much. The banner's done. I started placing out this part of the village at the bottom, and this square is Follow Your Dreams. So yeah, very happy with that. And that's all the temperatures. Next, we have new starts. I have 3 new starts. One is a test stitch. One I did for an event, which I failed at completely, but okay. And one is just because. So the first one I started is called Flute Player. It is from a kit from Design Works, and it will look like this when finished. The glare from the windows. Except I have changed the fabric that was included, which was a 14 count Ita, to 32 count even weave hand dyed from Coffee Craft Fabrics, and this is up, I think. So this is the fabric, and I have done a bit on her orange sash, and that's it. So yeah, but I'm getting this put on my Stitchly app, so it's easier for me to track backstitching and where everything goes a bit digitally, so I can track it easier. And this was started on the 12th of May. I have done 274 stitches. I started it for an event in the Fun with Cross Stitch group. It was meant to be for the Eurovision, in celebration of the Eurovision Song Contest, and I was supposed to do at least 2,500 stitches during that week. I did not. I just was digitizing and didn't have the time I thought I would have to work on it. So it just got put on the wayside and didn't get as much done on it as I had hoped. But it's a nice pattern so far. Nice stitch. And it lives in a bag from Stitch-O-Ma-Jig, who has an Etsy shop. And just take out the flows. So this is the back. And she embroiders the fabric on the inside. It's a gorgeous bag, purchased at the last retreat I was at in the Essex Needles Retreat. And next is, okay, so next we'll do, yeah, we'll do this one. So this was part of my unboxing in the video that shall not be named. It is a custom cross stitch that is done, that I ordered from Dream Stitch. It is on a 16 count fabric. The printing is absolutely beautiful. And this is the design I had sent to them. It's originally from a coloring book app. And they decided to apparently, so instead of just one color, it is two, and one is a blend. It has a total of 92 colors, and there are 4 blends. So this is the key. But it'll probably, most likely, very likely be quite a lovely project when finished. I started working at the top, and this is what I've got done so far. Just working on the background because it's a lot. So yeah, so you can see it's a lot of background. That was started on the 23rd of May, so last Friday I started it. It's going well so far. The fabric is a bit stiff, so I need to have protection on my finger. It's pushing the needle through. It's a bit tough. And the last new start is a test stitch. It is from Sol Galleria. Sol Galleria. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that. Her shop is her Etsy shop is called Sol Galleria, and it has been a very lovely, easy stitch. This is what it will look like when it's finished, and this is what I have gotten done so far. So I've decided to work on the outline, which is all in this color, and then I'll fill in bits and pieces afterwards. It uses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors in total, so not very many. It is done on 28 count, hand dyed, even weave by myself. It was way too small for a Mirabilia, apparently, I realized. So I've repurposed it for this, and I'll have lots of margin so I can frame it or whatever I want to do with it when it's finished. It's going really well. So far, I have done at least 1,614 stitches. I did work on it a bit last night after I started calculating, and it is at least 35.48% done, and it's going really well. So almost at the end. So next we have whips. the first one we'll talk about is After the Rain, which is starting to become my focus project because I want it finished for the next Essex Needles retreat, which is at the end of September. Let's see, it is designed by Ekaterina Borezhka. She is Borezhka Stitches on Instagram. Not that she posts anything, but she's on Instagram anyway. She's mostly on, I think, the Russian version of Facebook called BK. I got the information how to get this pattern from Laura at I Stitch Birds. And it lives also in a Stitch-a-Majig bag. So this is the inside design. There we go. And the back. I did, during the month of May, I have done 1,444 stitches. It is currently at 54.4%. And it is done on a 28 count even weave, dyed by myself, and it is done as the pattern calls for. So if it's 2/1 full cross or half tent stitch, and back stitch will come. I've done a little bit, but this is how it's looking so far in its entirety. Here we go. So as you can see, I'm working on the right side and working my way over to the other way, the left side, working my way over to the right. I've been working a lot down here, filling in this area and just moving it over that way. Eventually there'll be a lot of back stitching going in like this. It's a lot of this kind of beach grass going in black and white. That'll be saved for the end, I think, to really make this whole thing pop. Most likely in July, I think, I'll focus on this and really make this a focus so it'll be a finish. Hopefully in July would be nice to have it done so I can get it washed and framed. And the last cross-stitching bit for this month, the last whip I worked on was my stamped kit that I dub Enchanted Forest. It is on 16 count Aida 2/1 full cross. I have done at least 1,891 stitches. It is at least 14.0% complete. I have done some more this morning, which I haven't counted in. But you'll get to see that progress anyway. So let's see. So yeah. So this is what it is looking like. So I'm working all the way over to about 130. It's a little over halfway, and then moving down, filling in the colors. So now I'm working on this bright yellow, which is DMC 550. And then I'll again start working in the missing stitches here and moving everything down. And eventually I might actually get to move the hoop. So yeah, those are all my whips. So, journaling. We've gone through the main pages for May. So I'll show you the weeks. So here is 18 and 19 spread. 20 and 21. I messed up here on this temperature a bit, so I had to use a lot of whiteout on this side. Not sure if you can see it, but oh well. Then we have week 22, and after the video debacle last time, I decided I was going to go and just work in these, and I figured out that the best option was using my iPad. So we're moving into June this weekend. So I've gotten June ready to go, and I've decided that this month's theme is going to be more floral. Use up some of my stickers that I have and washi tapes. This is a Monet inspired washi tape, and this is the Van Gogh, and this is Monet inspired washi tapes. And so far June, I haven't filled in anything for this month, but that is coming when I have time to plan. I have a spot for my test stitching, so I can keep track of that. When I started, when I finished, and the next one from the same shop is Wolf with Glasses, but that will most likely be shown next time. So I've combined Oceans and Safari games. These are held by Fun with Cross Stitch. So I can put in the pattern I want to use for the goal, what the goal is, and what I'm working on, or how far I get during the month. Temperature stitching, just to remind myself which pattern is for which number, and also I can keep track of how many times each one is called during the month. Whip go, as we can see, I've carried over. So I have now 800, 900, 1100, and 1700 stitches. We'll see if I feel like doing that, or if I just let it roll over again. And from October, I'll get my butt in gear with that when I get the full pattern. And I can mark off what I've done, and then I can go from there and just go all over. And I have not started on a week because that's next week. So not until this weekend will I actually start planning my weeks. So those are the spreads I have so far for my journal. So next Flosstube will be late. I am, as I've mentioned, I'm going to Japan this year, and we land on the 2nd of July. So in order for me to have time to actually make my Flosstube, get it edited, get it uploaded, and all of that, and do all the things, I think it'll be best if I do it, have it set so it'll be ready and released on the 6th of July, midnight Central Eastern European time, or Stockholm time, or whatever it is called. So it'll be late by a few days. Sorry. But we'll see what I have to show you. I might have a bit more focus on the haul that time, since I won't have a lot of time in June to stitch. We leave on the 17th, so it's only about 2 weeks I have time to stitch here before we leave, and then we'll see what I have time for on the plane, and if I have time to stitch at all while in Japan. We'll see, probably not, but I'll bring some stitching with me. But But yeah, just so you know, next time we'll be a little late. So that's me. That's this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you leave a like or comment down below. Please don't forget to subscribe if you like what you saw this time, and hit the bell in order to be notified when I release my next video. Bye!